Well, hello, road trippers. I do hope everybody's doing well after the last week. And oh man, it's been a busy week for me. In fact, I almost forgot that I had to do a live stream today. So I'm putting this together kind of on the fly. It's something I do know about, so I can definitely talk about it. And I do hope we get a few more people coming in. I'm just going to wait a couple seconds and say hi. My name is Brad, and I have done Driveaway for a couple of years. I did Towaway for a little bit, and I had recently went to Synergy RV and did a review of their Driveaway and their Towaway. The review of the Towaway will be coming up Thursday. It's already up there, it's ready to go. And so today, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about Driveaway versus, oh, look at that, it's nice and small. Driveaway versus Towaway. Forgot to resize that. Look at that. See, I'm already screwing up today. So first of all, Driveaway is when you drive a motorized vehicle, whether it's a motorhome or a UPS truck or a CDL truck or whatever, something that already has a motor in it, and you're driving it to deliver. Towaway is when you own a pickup truck, usually a pickup truck at least three-quarter ton and up, sometimes a dually, and you pull a trailer or camper or fifth wheel or whatever to make money. This is all about making money. So today we're going to talk about the Driveaway versus Towaway. Hey PJD, how are you? So what we'll do is we'll have a little talk about what we're doing, and posted a link to your live stream in the Facebook. Oh, I didn't see that because oh, thank you for posting that. Thank you very much for posting that. Wow, we already got 10 people. Thanks, Ron. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and talk about the stuff, and then we will have a Q&A right after that. And I do have to run this not much longer than 6 o'clock, simply because I have something I have to do this evening. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the upfront expenses between Towaway and Driveaway. First of all, your upfront expenses, well, if you don't already have a pickup truck, there's a huge upfront expenses buying a pickup truck for Towaway. For Driveaway, you don't really need much of an upfront expense because you don't have to have a tow car, but you do want to have some money in your bank because you're going to have to travel a little bit, maybe up to about $1,000 in your bank to get from the first trip to the next trip, maybe a flight or a bus or a train or whatever. So it's really not a big deal. Now, also, what you have to do if you already have a pickup truck, you have to buy all the hitches. Now, I am not completely up to speed with the costs of the hitches, but you should buy something to pull, bumper pull. You need to buy a fifth wheel, and you should maybe think about buying a gooseneck connection because the gooseneck will help you. You do want to have at least the fifth wheel and the bumper pull hitch. For the very basic reason is you want to be able to pull as much as possible. All of those could cost you upwards of maybe $2,000, I'm guessing, maybe $3,000. You got to make sure your truck is up to snuff. But again, for the upfront expenses, I think Towaway kind of loses in that aspect. So let's talk a little bit about the pay. Now the pay, it depends on, for the mileage. Oops, sorry about that. If you talk about just the pay for the mile, you do get paid per mile more for Towaway than you do for Driveaway. However, you have many more expenses. You have your truck is a bigger expense because it gets worse fuel mileage than a normal car. You have to do your insurance is more expensive, and your fuel is a little bit different. Of course, your fuel is going to be about the same no matter what. Uh-oh. I am frozen. How come my video's frozen? Can everybody hear me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can everybody see me? I hope this could be an issue. Great. I don't have time for this. Oh, is my app crashing? Oh, good. Everybody's fine. Fine, we'll keep on going. So the pay. I'm glad is my video frozen, I guess is my question. I know you can hear me. And everything looks like it's kind of screwed up on this side. Okay, but now my app isn't working. Okay. Well, okay. Are you seeing the comments? aside. Because this is not good. Wow, that's pretty quick. So, this is not good. Oh, crap. So this was working fine a minute ago. Okay. Okay. BRB. I will restart the stream. Great! Because my app is frozen. Oh, God bless it. Hey, T-Rex! Yeah, maybe... Well, I guess we're just going to have to go with audio. I can't even shut down my app. I do not know what's going on. We're not happy. T-Rex, I'd like to say congratulations, as he was hired by Horizon today and he's getting everything done. I hope everybody can still hear me. App won't restart. Just going to do audio. Let me know if you can still hear me. Well, let's see here. What happens if I do this? Oops, nope. Okay, everybody's gone, so we're going to continue on. Anyway, so what we're talking about is the pay. For Driveaway, you will actually make more money than Towaway. Believe it or not. You can actually make more money simply because your expenses are much lower than if you have Towaway. And this is going to be a little distracting for me. So this is basically now a podcast. Wonderful. And my video is all frozen. Gotta love it. I'm glad everybody can hear me. So anyway, so the pay, you are going to end up making more money with Driveaway simply because Towaway is more expensive, and I experienced that. And one other person I know that did Driveaway, they also experienced it. They did Towaway for about a year and a half, and they went back to Driveaway. So there's one thing. Now, let's talk about sleeping arrangements. Okay, with a motorhome, with Driveaway, you have pretty good sleeping arrangements, and with a Towaway, you can, from what I hear, I never did that. I never did the sleeping in the camper. You can see the chat on the side. So basically it's just my camera that's frozen. Let's try this. So if I do that, no, see, I can't even click anything on this app. Wonderful. So anyway, sleeping in the trailers. I've heard people do it. I had a guy comment on one of my videos that he was sleeping in the campers because he was 6'3", and sleeping in the back of a truck is not much fun. Now, if you're hauling a boat, you can't sleep on the boat, most likely, because you can't get into the boat. Sleeping in Driveaway can be challenging at times because you're not supposed to sleep on the beds. But as someone noted in one of my videos, as long as you don't make a mess and nobody knows you slept in the bed, nobody cares you slept in the bed. As long, I slept on my sleeping bag or in my sleeping bag, depending how warm or cold it was. The fun part is when you're driving a FedEx truck or a UPS truck or a box truck and you don't really have a place to sleep. That's not much fun. When you do that, basically what happens is you sleep on the shelves of the UPS truck, and that is so much fun. You want to grab some cardboard or something like that, and you want to put it underneath you, because otherwise that metal is going to drain you all of your body heat, and you're going to be freezing your butt off really quick. If you have a life jacket, be safe to sleep on the boat. Yes, Ron. And I'm glad everybody can hear me. I really am. I see your comments. I can see them just fine. Anyway, so sleeping, they're about the same. I didn't like sleeping in the back of a pickup truck in the back seat, but I never slept in the campers because I felt weird about it. I only did it for a couple months, so I'll bet you if I'd have been doing it for longer, I probably would have done it eventually. So that's the pay, the sleeping arrangements. I see the pay on top of the screen. This is really annoying me. This video will definitely not stay live, which sucks. So next thing we want to talk about is deadheading. Deadheading with Towaway, well, it's really easy. You just get in your truck and you drive, but you definitely don't want to go too far, because the more miles you drive on that truck, that's more money out of your pocket. That's where I screwed up when I did towaway. Number one, I did not have a fifth wheel, and I only had the trailer hitch, and I only could pull trailers. And I drove deadheaded more than I did towing and making money, which really sucks. That was my fault, completely my fault. So maybe I know other people can make decent money with towaway, but I totally tanked it. I lost money. With Driveaway, deadheading, well, if you have a tow car, it's not so bad. I liked not having a tow car. Of course, it did have its challenges. One time I was trying to get an Uber in a place that I was probably half a mile away from where I could get an Uber. Please let me know. Continue commenting so I know that everything's going well, because my app is not showing me anything. And the last comment I see is Ron about the life jacket. Anyway, so deadheading in Driveaway is a challenge if you don't have a tow car. Deadheading with a towaway is quite easy because you have the truck. You just want to, with no matter what deadheading kind you do, whether you're doing Driveaway, tow car, no tow car, or towaway, you want to keep your deadhead to an absolute minimum. Otherwise, you won't make any money. Cool. Everybody is hearing me. Okay, so what I've got now, thanks Carl, thanks Ron. What I got now is, this is the Q&A part, because I don't know if I have anything else to say because my thing is all screwed up. And like I said, I kind of threw this together to last minute. I forgot I was going to do a live stream today. And really quick, just so everybody knows, and it has nothing to do with the software or nothing else, but next week I will not be doing a live stream. The wife and I are going on vacation. And then I maybe have a live stream the week after that. And then after that, for 3 weeks, 0 live streams. Sorry guys, I'm going to be basically going, I can hear you, no more seeing chats on the inside. Okay, I can, okay, thank you for telling me, John. So basically we're just hearing and seeing, you don't see the chat on the video. That app is kind of screwed up for me. So here we are, we're at the Q&A section. So what I would like you guys to do, number one, I'm sorry that I won't be doing a live stream or very many in the next several weeks, probably month and a half almost, but because of other commitments that I have, I just can't. I don't have the time, and I won't even be home for anything. Obviously being home doesn't matter because this software is breaking on me, and this is the paid version. I would have loved to, this is from PJD, I would have loved to do the driving of this type of work, but no tow car, and I live too far away from some of the businesses. PJD, you're fine. I did that too. You have to be careful about when you, or where you go. You don't go to the middle of nowhere Oklahoma or middle of nowhere Kansas without a tow car, because it's going to be too much money to get back. But most of the time your driver or your dispatcher will help you make sure you don't go to the wrong place. Usually if you have a good dispatcher, you always go to the bigger cities, LA. I don't go to New York, but you can hit Long Island if you really want. I mean, New Jersey is a place where a lot of people go. Most places in Florida are pretty good, like Winter Garden, Orlando, all those places, Phoenix. There's plenty of metropolises, cities, Minneapolis you can go to without having a tow car. I did it for 2 years without a problem. So that's no big deal. So Ron, your question is really easy. When is the next Synergy video coming out? Well, that's coming out Thursday. That's going to be all about towaway. And I'm going to give you a little heads up. It's really good because they're just as good with towaway as they were Driveaway. Maybe a little better with towaway simply because they've been doing towaway a little longer than Driveaway. PJD, I hope I answered your question. I hope I asked your questions. You said you live too far away from some of the businesses. You live in Oklahoma. I'd love to get into Driveaway Company. Oh, Ron, Oklahoma's fine. I took many units to OKC and Tulsa. Those are the two biggest you're going to end up going to. So you're fine. Now, PJD, if you're in the middle of Kansas and that's where you live and you want to do this, well, there's a problem with that. Would I recommend a 1-ton dually or not? Stephen, that's an excellent question, and you will get different answers depending on who you talk to. I did a 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive Dodge crew cab, and I think, of course, PJD, you're in Kansas, and I think that having that, there were some units I couldn't pull. I think if you have the 1 ton, now I'm going to tell you the difference having a 1 ton and 3/4 ton in just a second. But having a 1 ton, you open yourself to heavier loads, and the heavier loads pay better. The difference is a 3/4 ton, you can get away with not logging your deadhead. It's not, I don't know how legal it is. I think it's legal. But doing the 1 ton, you have to log everything, deadhead or not. You also have to go through a weigh station, deadhead or not. Of course, if the weigh station says no pickup trucks, don't go into the weigh station. But a 1 ton, I mean, like I said, you're gonna hear both ways. A 1 ton dually would be good, but whatever you do, do not spend a lot of money on a brand new truck to go tow away, because that is craziness. I wouldn't spend more than $30,000 on any truck that you're going to go beat the crap out of. So Sean Tevis, 2014 Ram 3500, set up to pull fifth wheel, gooseneck, bumper pull, no CDL yet, but want to get into it. How hard is it to get it started? Sean, you would be in it in 10 seconds because you have a good truck, you have the fifth wheel, the gooseneck, and bumper pull. Even without the CDL, people don't care. Now, I would get that CDL as soon as you can, because once you have that, you'll be able to pull everything. And the same goes to you, Steven. You want to make sure, if you're driving a 1 ton, you want to have that CDL, and that's what the 3500, I believe that's the 1 ton, yeah, because 2500 is 3/4 ton. So yeah, you're going to want to get the CDL. What company do you think, this is from Jonathan C., what company do you think is best for someone just getting into this career field as Driveaway driver? And I'm out of Pennsylvania. Out of Pittsburgh, dude, you're in a good spot. Jonathan, I honestly, the Synergy is really good. If you didn't see my review from last Thursday, they're a really good company, and they're a really good starting company because the training is so good and so thorough. And you're in a good spot. From Pittsburgh to get in to where they're at. I mean, even though it's Goshen, Indiana, there's buses that go straight into Goshen, and there's a bus that drops right around the corner from their terminal. So it's a good spot. Synergy, give them a try. You can talk to Horizon also. Horizon is they're a bigger company. Steven, you have a Class B. Do you need a Class A? Yeah, if you want to pull a bigger trailer, a Class A will help you. And Steven, I think, to really answer your question, the very, very best, you really need to call Synergy tomorrow and talk to one of their recruiters. They won't lie to you about it, okay? They won't. Their recruiters are dead honest, and I love them for it. And I know that coming from an outsider and grilling them last week. If you look at my review from last Thursday's Driveaway and even this Thursday for Towaway, you can trust those recruiters. Any other recruiters are just going to tell you whatever you want to hear, but they're not going to do it. No problem, Jonathan C. I hope you get into it. It'd be awesome. So, Steven, I would definitely call them and ask them, because the Class B is good. Because I think what's the trailer limit is 10,000, I think. But the Class A, your limit is 80,000 pounds. So you can, I mean, granted, your truck isn't going to pull 80,000 pounds, but you can at least pull 15 to 20,000 pounds. So you really open yourself up to higher paying runs. That's what a better CDL, and get as many endorsements as you can possibly get. If you can you don't need the passenger endorsement for Class A. You really don't, unless you're going to drive articulated buses. And that's, if you want to come to Chicago and do that, yeah, you're nuts. But get the hazmat, get the multiples if you can, get the tanker, get all of that stuff so that you have as much flexibility for your dispatcher as possible, and they will be able to give you more loads, and these loads will pay more because they're loads that other people can't get, so they're just higher paying loads. So that's really what you want to do. Man, you guys are coming up with some good questions, and mostly questions I can answer. Next, so Jonathan C., you are very welcome. I'm glad to have helped you. I'm glad. So Jonathan C., if I do, I will let you know, and thank you very much for the information. Hey, I'll be glad to hear from you. I was talking to, T-Rex is on here, and I think he's still here, and he just got signed on with Horizon, and he's going out probably next week for training. I think their training is on Tuesday, I forget. I don't know. Well, maybe their towaway training is different. They never actually gave me the towaway training at Horizon, because I went from Driveaway to towaway and then right back into Driveaway because I just did not like it. Did not like it at all. I did it for 1 or 2 months, 2.5 months maybe. I really forget how long I did towaway, but it was too long for me. Definitely not my thing. I'd even thought about, what if I get like a Freightliner, like one of those medium duty trucks, so I can pull a trailer and haul multiple campers, and that's not a bad idea because then at least I'd have a sleeper. But then that's just other reason. There's reasons a lot of people do that and make good money. There's no reason for it. I mean that you can't make good money with that. But me, that's not the direction I wanted to go. No, it just was not the way I wanted to go. Thank you, Sean. What's the easiest way? So, Sean Tavis, thank you. What's the easiest way to get a CDL for this application of driving? The easiest way? Well, learn. If you can take a class, if you can afford to get a class, that would be great. But whatever. See, Sean, where do you live again? You're in Oregon. Ooh, Oregon. I think they're one of the tougher states, too. Look, you have to get it through your state. So it's whatever state you live in. Look at that. If there's like a class or anything you can take, it's like a truck driver class. Do it, take it, whatever. It's not impossible, obviously, because millions of people have their CDLs. But it's definitely, you need to have some skills and you need to have some where you just got to do what you got to do. So definitely. Look and talk to the state of Oregon. Maybe if you can find a truck driver in Oregon, maybe they have a better option for you, I hope. Let's see here. So Carl Scott Amos. I have a Class C CDL to drive the church bus. Would Synergy or Horizon allow me to do Driveway and help me get a Class A clean driving record, and can pass a physical? Carl, they would love to have you because, number one, you have some driving experience. Now they're going to want to get you minimum Class B. I know Horizon has a program, or at least when I was there, they had a program to get you training for your Class A or whatever CDL you want, and they will love it if you get your Class A. They have it if you've driven enough miles. They give it to you at a discount. Training. They don't get you your license. They give you training. I'm not really sure where you live because that really matters. Because whatever state you live in, they are going to test you. If you have a clean driving, Carl, you're going to be in a heartbeat because you're what they call insurable. Scott Winters, do I need a CDL for driveway RVs? You do not need one, but you should have one. That's a common question all the time. Ron Thompson again. I love it, Ron. Trying to figure out how to get a CDL without going to a truck driving school. Well, Ron, here's how I did it, and I did it twice. I've had CDL 2 different times. The first time I did it 20 plus years ago when the CDL first came out, and what I did is I just learned, and I only got a Class B, so it was just like driving a motorhome that was, well, it was just like driving a motorhome, that had air brakes. So I learned air brakes and all that. I did it all on my own. Studied. I failed the first time and went right back a month later and got it the second time. The second time I actually got one was and here, you know what? This is about the time of year you want to do this. I was a tour bus driver up in Alaska, and they trained me. It was like 2 weeks of training, and they trained me how to drive and how to pass the test, and I passed the test really, really well. And then they gave me my CDL with a Class B, and a passenger endorsement, and air brake endorsement. So everything was great and good to go. Without going to a truck driving school, man, you're just Oklahoma. Dude, Oklahoma, it shouldn't be too hard. I think Oklahoma's a little easier than Illinois, so go ahead and try that out. But let me know what you find out. I think, Ron, you might be able to just study really well, and as long as you know how to drive a long truck. What was one of the things that someone told me when you're taking the CDL? I'm looking to see if it's attached and not broken, or something like that. Remember those words, or something close to that. PJD, there are truck driving schools in lots of areas, or apply for school bus driver. I got up to permit and decided it was not for me, as I would have told the kids to be quiet. Yeah, the passenger endorsement. But passenger endorsement is also for tour drivers, tour bus drivers. That's what I had. How long in Horizon School? This is from Ron again. How long in Horizon School? I drive a high-top wheelchair transport van 100 miles a day. How how long in the school for getting a CDL? That's up to you. They charge you by the hour, and you get to use their truck and trailer. And if you feel that 1 hour is good enough and you're ready to go take the test, you go take the test. As far as their training before you become a driver, I believe it's a 2-day training. And then after that, they expect you to go on the road almost immediately. Blaze Tom Bay, do you have any advice for me? I work 3 days a week and I have 4 days off. What driving job should I do? Or do you recommend I do Uber on the side? Blaze, Uber on the side is probably your best bet. Driveaway is not going to work for you if you have to be somewhere 3 days a week. Driveaway is something you do full time. And that's it. Now, if one thing you could do, Blaze, is you could, or Tom Blaze, Blaze Tom, however you want to call yourself, one thing you could do is you could just basically find a local driving job, a local delivery job, something that's maybe you work for AutoZone or something like that. It's just like some local delivery, something like that. That's my thought. So Carl Scott Amos, you are in Florida. I can get a Class A learner's permit. I've already passed some of the written tests. You go, rock it, man. You get it. You get that Class A. Like I always say, get as many endorsements as you deem fit. If you get the passenger endorsement, you're allowed to drive buses, empty or whatever. And that's a rule that it's best just to have the passenger endorsement to drive them empty, even then. So now you also then want to have hazmat, and you want to have multiples, and you want to have, and I always forget the tanker. You want to have as many of those as you can have, because that way you can drive more and more and more and more. Stephen Kranz, Horizons approved my application. They will help with the Class A. Yes, Stephen, they certainly will. I'm glad that they still do that. And again, if you get a certain number of miles, it's actually a little cheaper after you've driven so many miles with them. And Blaze Tom Bay, hey, no problem. I'm glad to help you guys out. I'm glad, and I'm sorry my video isn't working. I think my app needs to be updated, and that is really annoying. So this turned into a podcast. Not on purpose. Maybe I'll leave this up. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Maybe I will leave it up and just let it go. Who cares? We'll see. And it'll get like 1 billion views and people, and I'll make $1 trillion. No, I won't make any money on it. Any more questions, guys? Anything? Anyone? Bueller? Hey, no problem, Steven. I'm glad to help you. Scott Winters, I have a CDLA with all endorsements except school bus and let expire about 10 years ago. I'm in Virginia. How hard to get it back? Well, I got mine back, and I got mine back with the training up in in Alaska for the Class B CDL with passenger endorsement. In Virginia, I'm not sure how hard that is over there because I don't really know many of the rules, but I don't think it's as bad as like Chicago, because Illinois is a pain in the butt. Just give it a shot, man. Just get it, because you already know how to drive a truck with a trailer. So as long as you get that muscle memory back, you're good to go. Just go ahead and get all your endorsements again. I don't think you're going to have any more difficulty than 10 years ago, because it's about the same as it was 10 years ago from what I can understand. So you shouldn't have too much of a problem. So any more questions, guys? Oh, we got one more. PJD. What is this? You should leave this up as people can hear it. Yeah, you're right, and I do. That's why I repeat the questions. I may leave this up, and I guess I probably will. And just as I said in the video, hey, it's screwed up. Sorry. And actually right now, I don't even know how I'm going to get the app to shut down. You guys may hear me cussing it out as I try to shut it down. That could be fun. Maybe it'll go viral. I doubt it. Quansers. Oh, Sean, I'm so glad you got it. I'm glad you got a lot of information out of it. Anybody else? I'm more than happy. I've only got a couple minutes. I have to get going. I've got a previous engagement that I have to attend to, and I am sorry for not running it longer because I do enjoy these. They're actually fun. Typo? I think that's a typo, PJ. So anyway, guys, I would like to say, number one, thank you very much for watching the video. If you like videos like this, go ahead and like this one and subscribe to the channel. I think that's about everything I usually say. Pull out the plug on your pewter. Ron? That's a possibility. About to hit Control-Alt-Delete here in just a second. But, but everybody, just have a great and wonderful day. And until next time, safe travels. And we're about to shoot down this app the hard way through Task Manager. The 3-finger salute. I used to be a computer programmer. I know how to kill a computer.